Welcome back, everybody. Continuing our coverage here of the war in Israel right now, and U.S. Special Forces trained in hostage-freeing operations may be eventually having to get involved in Israel. There are obviously major concerns about the hostages today. More than 150, including women and children, their whereabouts unknown. And in Tel Aviv this morning, families of missing Americans in Israel held a news conference pleading for their safe return. Nahar Netter was on the phone with her mother, 66-year-old Adrienne, when she was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists. This is part of what he said.
Me and my other siblings were talking to my mom on the phone, trying to calm her down. Things were sort of calm when she heard a lot of gunfire outside of her shelter, and we tried to calm her down. That's when I dropped off the call. And both my brother and my sister were on the call with her as the terrorist barged into her home. And we heard a little bit of screaming, and that was our last contact with her.
Emotional and heartbreaking pleas, and also some of the family members putting pressure on President Biden and Antony Blinken, directly using their names in today's news conference, saying they need to get their loved ones out safely. Let's bring in now Lisa Daftari, a counterterrorism foreign policy expert and the editor-in-chief of the Foreign Desk, host of the Foreign Desk podcast. Lisa, welcome in. Thank you for being with us today on Newsline.
Thank you.
So heartbreaking stuff, and we're waiting for President Joe Biden, who is delayed. What do you think he could possibly say that would calm these people in this time of need, especially when we know all the money that has been sent to Iran?
Right. And I think that that is really the elephant in the room when the Biden administration takes to the podium and tries to offer any kind of help and resources, and of course, the verbal support, probably stinging the most because of the United States' role in emboldening Iran's regime to support such an attack. You know, I've said this on many media interviews over the last 72 hours. If you take President Obama and President Biden out of the presidential timeline, any other president, Democrat or Republican, you wouldn't know the difference with regards to our policies on terrorism, on extremism, and of course with our ally Israel.
Yes.
We have always been consistent, stable, strong, letting them know that we always have their back. And that has not been the case under the Biden administration. For 3 years, they wined and dined the Iranian regime, the mullahs, the extremists, the major terrorists that are pulling the puppet strings in this attack.
Well,
and they begged them for a nuclear deal. They let them know that they wanted a deal.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken trying to backtrack the Wall Street Journal report, saying we don't have a smoking gun that Iran. So we have that. I do want to just jump in because there's some developing news I want to get your reaction to, because we look at what's happening in Israel. We look at our wide open southern border. When we look at terrorists and terrorism and what they seek to do, harm and kill, cause terror, there is a new tweet that just came out moments ago, and it's from the FBI New York Joint Terrorism Task Force, Lisa, and it says, in light of recent events overseas, that it is increasing its focus on potential threats. They say they remain in constant contact with federal, state, and local partners, and they do say we don't have specific and credible intelligence indicating a threat, but if you see something, please report it to the FBI. Clearly putting that out is a signal that they may be on alert, and in the wake of what's happened in Israel and also all the protests we've seen erupt on both in New York City for Palestinians, Israelis, now it looks like the FBI wants people to be even more vigilant. Your read on this tweet?
Absolutely. At the Foreign Desk, we've covered a handful of stories in the last 6 months outlining the number, the frightening number of individuals coming over the border who actually were on the FBI's most wanted list. And we're not even talking about the ones who got away and weren't under the radar. This is unbelievable when you look at the number of people who were in Hamas garb in New York City and in many other cities in the United States, offering their support to a group that is on the U.S. terror list. I mean, it's mind-boggling that this is acceptable. It's mind-boggling that there are college students that are not only supporting Hamas, but doubling down, having events on campus, taxpayer money, a lot of these being state schools. It's really scary to think that these individuals are here in the United States. We know their agenda. We know what they're capable of. And when the FBI puts out a tweet like that, it's like feathers to the wind. How are you going to catch these individuals at this point?
And again, a wide open southern border under the Biden administration. The failure is something that they will have to own. Lisa Daftari, wish we had more time. Got to leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.